And let's put the view speaker. Okay, any questions from last week before we get started? Okay, all right. So we are doing Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 7, Lord Chaitanya and 5 features. And we're starting today with text 34. Okay, everybody there?
Yes, Prabhuji.
All right. 24 वत्सर शिला गृहस्थ आश्रमे पंचविंशति वर्षे कैल जति धर्मे. Translation. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained in the householder life for 24 years. And on the verge of his 25th year, he accepted the sannyas order. Okay, let's see who wants to read the purport.
You can do it, Prabhu.
Go ahead, Usha. Yeah.
There are 4 orders of spiritual life, namely Brahmacharya, Grasta, Vanasprata, and Sannyas. And in each of these ashramas, there are 4 divisions. The divisions of Brahmacharya ashram are Savitriya,
Patya.
Prajaptaya, Brahma, and Brahat. And the divisions of the Grasta ashram are Varta, professionals, Sanchaya, accumulators, Salina, those who do not ask anything from anyone, and Silochana, those who collect grains from the paddy fields. Similarly, the divisions of the Vanashprastha ashram are Vikhansa, Valakya, Adumbra, and Finapa. And the divisions of sannyas are Kutuchaka, Bahudaka, Hamsa, Nishkarya. There are 2 kinds of sannyasis who are called Dhira and Narottamas. As stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, chapter 13, text 26 to 27. At the end of the month of January in the year 1432, Sakabda AD 1510, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the sannyas order from Keshava Bharati, who belonged to the Shankara Sampradaya. Haribol.
Thank you very much. You might hear some noise in the background, so please forgive us. There's some work going on. Okay, so essentially, Prabhupada is explaining different divisions of the 4 ashrams. And I looked at it, I tried to Google some of these terms and was not very successful. So I did not do any research beyond what you're seeing here. So don't ask me to explain any of these other terms because I don't know, to be honest with you. Okay, sannyas ones I do know. Kutichak, you see that? Kutichak, Bahudak, Hansa, and Nishkriya. Everyone sees that?
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, so Kutichak is a person who lives outside the village, makes a little hut, and the food or prasad is provided to him by either the family or the local people. That's Kutichak. That's the first stage of sannyas. There is Bahudak. Bahu means a lot. Udak means water. So basically, he survives on the water in his kamandal. And so not much to eat, little bit, but mostly that. And then, interestingly, it says Hansa and Nishkriya. In most other places in Bhagavatam, you will not see these 2 words. You will see Paribrajak Acharya and you will see Paramhansa. Okay, so if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, these 2 words are not used. I went through different cantos. Everywhere is Paribrajak Acharya, Paramhansa. Paribrajak Acharya means, do you know what Braj means? You go from one place to another place. This is what Braj Dham is known as. Go from one place to another place. And Brajak means the one who goes from one place to another place. Okay? And Paribrajak means the word Pari means completely. So, for example, you have Parikrama. The word is Krama. What does Kram mean?
Action.
No.
Activity, Prabhuji.
No. Krama, not Karma. Krama.
Sequence.
Not K-A-R. K-R-A.
Is it number, Prabhu? Number?
Well, that's
No.
one meaning.
Order, Prabhuji.
Order,
Sequence.
yes. So
Order.
you go in sequence.
Yes.
Move it. So parikrama means you go around completely, and that's what it goes. Parikrama means go around. Otherwise, it's krama. You're walking.
Okay.
Okay. So similarly, there's another word shrama. What does shram mean?
मेहनत करना to work.
Yeah, do the work. What does parishram mean?
Effort, Prabhu.
What is that shram?
Labor, complete labor.
Yeah, there's a lot of work, like completely dedicated to this work. So my point is, the word pari
Is
implies
complete.
a lot of it, completely around, all those kind of things. Right? So paribrajak means somebody's going around and around everywhere.
Like the parikrama of the Govardhan. The whole
Exactly. Parikrama,
parikrama.
exactly right. Right? So similarly, parivar. Parivar is war everywhere.
Yeah.
Complete family again.
No,
Family.
parivar means war, complete war with everybody in the family.
Oh.
War, no, just making a joke. Okay, so
Prabhu, even paripurna.
Paripurna, same thing. Paripurna means
Yeah.
completely complete. Right? Pariprashnena sevya. Right? 434. Prashna is questioning, Pariprashna asking all the right questions completely properly. Okay? So that's Paribraja. And then Paramhans, somebody who has just no needs, no desires, is totally peaceful and self-realized. So the four types of sannyasis. So this is why when we do Pranami Mata Srila Prabhupada, we say Paribrajakacharya. Right? Because he went from so many places to so many places. Okay. Text 35. संन्यास करिया प्रभु हैला आकर्षण जतेक पलाया छिल तार्किक आदि गण. After accepting the sannyas order, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu attracted the attention of all those who had evaded him, beginning with the logicians. 36. Paruya pakhandi karmi nindakadi yata tara asi prabhupai hoy avnata. Thus the students, infidels, fruitive workers, and critics all came to surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord. So everybody came back because, it was one thing when he was in Grihastha, they avoided him, they insulted him, but once he became sannyasi, they all came to him.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hi, Pallavi, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Can I ask a question, Prabhu?
Of course you can.
This is in regards to the 34th verse, where it says that Mahaprabhu accepted sannyasa order from Keshava Bharati, who belonged to the Shankara Sampradaya.
Where did it say that? Oh, here at the bottom. Sorry, I missed that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw it.
Isn't that something in conflict, like Shankara Sampradaya? Does it not say about Mayavadi kind of thing?
Yes. So I'm sorry, I had completely missed that line. So thank you for pointing it out. Yes, so you're correct. But in those days,
Mm-hmm.
most of the sannyasis giving initiation were Mayavadis. However, if you read the story, Charitamrita of sannyas initiation, what Lord Chaitanya does is he gives a Gopal mantra to Keshav Bharati.
Okay.
And then Keshav Bharati turns around and gives that mantra back to Lord Chaitanya. So Lord
Okay.
Chaitanya did not get initiated in a Mayavad mantra. He got initiated by Gopal mantra. So it's okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Sure, you're welcome. Thank you for pointing it out. I completely missed that line. Okay. So 37. अपराध क्षमाइले डूबिले प्रेम जले केवा एड़ाइबे प्रभुर प्रेम महाजाले. Lord Chaitanya excused them all and they merged into the ocean of devotional service. For no one can escape the unique loving network of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So let's talk about that. Let's do the purport. Any volunteers?
I can read, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu, go ahead.
Thank you, Mataji. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was an ideal acharya. An acharya is an ideal teacher who knows the purport of the revealed scriptures, behaves exactly according to the injunctions, and teaches his students to adopt these principles also. As an ideal acharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu devised ways to capture all kinds of aesthetics atheists, atheists and materialists. Every acharya has a specific meaning of propagating his spiritual movement with the aim of bringing men to Krishna consciousness. Therefore, the method of one acharya may be different from that of another, but the ultimate goal is never neglected. Srila Rupa Goswami recommends, Tasmat kenapi upayena mana Krishna niveshayat sarvavidhi nisheda sure etayor eva kinkara.
Yeah. So let's talk about that paragraph first. So first of all, Mahaprabhu is being declared as an ideal acharya, and then Prabhupada describes what an acharya is. So, couple of things. One is he knows the purpose of the revealed scriptures, which is also the definition of a guru. So therefore, guru has to be an acharya. So understands not just the literal meaning, but the purpose, which is very important because a lot of times they meet all these scholars who know the scripture very well. They can translate the Sanskrit and give you long lectures, but they don't know what the purpose of that scripture is. So let's take an example, Bhagavad Gita. There are at least 100 plus different books written in Bhagavad Gita. Same 700 verses, but 100 different interpretations. And they all miss what Krishna was actually trying to say. Somebody says all about karma, somebody says it's all about the soul and the super soul, somebody says it's about the sense control. So many different interpretations. So they're all there, they're all very scholarly, but they miss the point. Bhagavad Gita is about devotional service. Bhagavad Gita is about surrender. Bhagavad Gita is about connecting with Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If you don't get those points, then you miss the point. So therefore, Prabhupada got those points, and therefore he says, as it is, it means this is the purpose of Krishna's words. This is what he really meant, and therefore his Bhagavad Gita as it is. Okay, you all with me?
Yep, yeah, told you.
So that's the first thing, that Acharya must understand the purpose of the revealed scriptures. Second is behaves exactly according to the injunctions. So it's not just prachar, it's achar also. Not achar, but achar. What does achar mean?
Teacher?
No,
Behavior.
No,
achar.
behavior.
Vyavhar.
Behavior.
Yes, behavior. So behavior, actions, how he speaks, all those kind of things come under category of achar. That's
Achar.
achar
Mm-hmm.
or aach, but because the other was because achar is the pickle, is better with pickle.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's the second thing. Third thing is teaches students to adopt these principles also. And this is why the students are encouraged to understand the context of the verse they're reading. Second, the literal meaning of the text they're reading. Third, the purpose or the essence of that text. And fourth, how would that apply in their life? So those four things are important to understand the scripture. And Acharya makes sure the disciple does those four things. Okay, so Lord Chaitanya was doing all that. And that becomes even more clear later on. So as an ideal Acharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu devised ways to capture all kinds of atheists and materialists. So what were some of the ways that Lord Chaitanya used to attract these people?
First of all, he took the sannyas. First of all,
Okay, fine. What next?
Debates.
Sorry?
Debates.
Debates. Okay, yeah, he did debate also, yes. What else?
yeah,
Nagar Sankirtan.
Nagar Sankirtan, absolutely, yes. What else?
He also showed by example of cleaning the Gundeja temple.
Okay, all right. In terms of spreading Krishna consciousness, what else did he do?
He asked his disciples to go in all directions.
Yes, he asked his disciples. What does it do? Something very fundamental. The number is saying.
He distributed the Harinam.
Huh?
Prabhuji, to give his mercy to everyone.
How did he do that?
Holy name?
I'm sorry?
Holy name?
By yes,
This is
by
organized? Sorry, Pallavi Mata, you could not hear what you said.
Holy name? Chanting the holy name?
Yes, so loud chanting of holy name, congregational loud chanting of the holy name. That is the first, because that's why people are getting so upset. That this guy is shouting the names of the Lord, that's not allowed. So that was the first. Nagar Sankirtan was, of course, and then all night Kirtan. Right?
Yes, so Prabhu, I have a question about this. The Mahamantra, right? Mahaprabhu flipped it, correct?
No,
Is
he
that
did not flip it. No, he did not flip it.
okay?
That's how it is.
Okay.
He did not flip it. So yeah, that's a common misunderstanding that he flipped it. Because people show Kali Santaran Upanishad, they look, it says Hare Rama first.
Okay.
But Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, he would not flip it, he doesn't need to flip it. That's how it is. Somehow it got flipped in Kali Santaran Upanishad. Not sure how that happened.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you so much for this.
No, no worries. Yeah, sure. Okay, Devjani, did I cut you off? I'm sorry, you were saying something else also.
no, Prabhuji, I was just trying to answer that, like by giving his mercy by this chanting holy name and
Sure,
this.
absolutely. What else? Anything else that comes to mind?
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Anything else that comes to mind? What he did? Techniques.
Also, accepting the most fallen souls like
Yes.
Madai.
Like
That's absolutely true. Yeah.
he didn't check like he didn't had any parameters like for somebody like should qualify for something. He just gave.
Exactly. Very good point. He didn't care patra vichar. Who's qualified, not qualified. Anybody and everybody. Muslim, sure, no problem. Mecha, sure, no problem. Right? So yeah. So point being, he devised a lot of techniques. And that's what it says, Tasmat kenapi upayan. In the verse that's by Prabhu Goswami, Tasmat kenapi means any. Upayan means any method. Somehow or the other, Yen Prakaran, somehow or the other, do it. What? Mana Krishna Niveshan. Put your mind on Krishna. And then wonderful says, any do's and don'ts are servants of this rule. Like basically, any do's and don'ts don't matter. As long as you put your mind on Krishna. There's another verse that you should know from the type of devotion that's very similar to this, which translated means always remember Krishna.
Never forget Krishna.
Never forget Krishna. So what verse? Smartavya Satatam Vishnu. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Aditi, go ahead.
I just remember one line. Sarva Upadi
No. That's not the one I'm talking about. This is Smartavya Satatam Vishnu. Vismartyo na jatuchit. Sarve vidishidasyu et yorev kikara. Basically, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. No other rule supersedes this. Every other rule is under it, like subordinate to it. Okay, so same thing being said here. Somehow or other, put your mind on Krishna. Nothing else matters. Okay, so somebody wants to read after this? Next paragraph.
I can read, Prabhu.
Go to.
An acharya should devise a means by which people may somehow or other come to Krishna consciousness. First, they should become Krishna conscious, and all the prescribed rules and regulations may later gradually be introduced. In our Krishna conscious movement, we follow this policy of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For example, since boys and girls in the Western countries freely intermingle, special concession regarding their customs and habits are necessary to bring them to Krishna consciousness. the Acharya must devise a means to bring them to devotional service. Therefore, although I am a sannyasi, I sometimes take part in getting boys and girls married. Although in the history of sannyasa, no sannyasi has personally taken part in marrying his disciples.
Right.
Oh.
So Prabhupada points out a couple of things that he did that were innovative. One was to marry the girls and the boys, even though sannyasi doesn't do that. He did that. He allowed the girls and boys to intermingle. That not allowed. What else? What other innovative things did Prabhupada do to spread Krishna consciousness?
He brought Rath Yatra.
He very easily gave initiations to very new people.
Okay,
That's what
fair enough. What
Brought
else?
up now
Making women as pujaris, Prabhu.
Yes, absolutely. Make women pujaris. Yes. What else?
Brought Rath Yatra to the Western countries.
I'm sorry.
He brought Rath Yatra to the Western world.
Okay, yeah, but Western countries. Yes. What else?
Prabhu, he gave initiation to anyone without seeing their caste. Like in India, only Brahmins are supposedly getting the initiation. He gave it. He was the disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so he was also Mahavadanya.
That's right. That's right. Anything else that comes to mind?
He just said, Prabhuji, like, just come, chant Hare Krishna, and then he used to like serve prasadam so that everybody should come and join.
Sure, sure.
Prabhu, he also taught them to cook, to wear dhotis, how to wear sari.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And above all, he tolerated all the mistakes and nonsense that people were doing, but they didn't know. So, yeah,
Yes,
innovative things that
he
he did.
tolerated a lot actually.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, the point being, whatever it takes to make somebody Krishna conscious. And one other point, to go back to the second line of this paragraph says, first, they should become Krishna conscious. And all the prescribed rules and regulations may later gradually be introduced. So, a lot of times the tendency is, as soon as somebody new comes in, oh, you drink tea, too bad, stop drinking. Oh, you still go to the bar, stop doing that. Oh, you still eat onion garlic, stop doing that. Prabhupada is saying, no, don't talk about that. Talk to them about chanting. Let them start chanting, and automatically all these things will come. We'll talk about this later, not the first thing. It's the last thing you talk about. Because again, what is the purpose? Is the purpose to get them to quit drinking tea and going to the bar? Or is the purpose to make them Krishna conscious?
Krishna conscious.
There you go. So then don't forget the purpose. Don't forget the purpose. So stop getting involved in the other things. They'll actually turn them off. So get them to start chanting first, and then you worry about those things. Okay? First formula preaching. Just get them to start chanting, get them to become more Krishna conscious, and then you tell them what they cannot do or should not do.
Yes, Prabhuji, if you tell them don't do, they don't even come.
That's right.
Don't
So, okay,
even
don't come to the temple. That's right, Bhakti Mother. You're right. Okay, let's do 38. Sabha nistarite Prabhu kripa avatar. Sabha nistarite kare chaturi apar. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in order to deliver all the fallen souls. Therefore, he devised many methods to liberate them from the clutches of Maya. Okay, somebody read the purport, please.
I'll do, Prabhu.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
It is the concern of the Acharya to show mercy to the fallen souls. In this connection, Desa Kala, Patra, the place, the time, and the object should be taken into consideration, since the Europeans and American boys and girls in our Krishna conscious movement preach together. Less intelligent men criticize that they are mingling without restriction. In Europe and America, boys and girls mingle unrestrictedly and have equal rights. Therefore, it is not possible to completely separate the men from the women. However, we are thoroughly instructing boys both men and women, how to preach, and actually they are preaching wonderfully. Of course, we very strictly prohibit illicit sex. Boys and girls who are not married are not allowed to sleep together or live together. And there are separate arrangements for the boys and girls in every temple. Grahasthas live outside the temple. For in the temple, we do not allow even husbands and wife to live together. The result of this are wonderful. Both men and women are preaching and gospel of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Krishna with redoubled strength. In this verse, the word Sabha Nishtar Priti Kara Kachari Apara indicates that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to deliver one and all. Therefore, it is a principle that the preacher must strictly follow the rules and regulations laid down in the Shastras, yet at the same time devise a means by which the preaching work to reclaim the fallen may go on with full force. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So again, if I can bring attention to the part of the verses quoted here, it says, Sabha nistarite kare chaturi apar. You see that?
Yeah.
So,
Second line.
Sabha nistarite, yeah, second line. Sabha nistarite means to deliver everyone, one and all. Kare chaturi apar. Chaturi is a very interesting word. Chaturi means very clever.
Clever.
Very clever is a good word. Like it's not in a bad way. Clever means somebody who's innovative, somebody who can think on his feet, somebody who can think of the alternatives. All those things are part of Chaturi. And then know what would work at this time, at this moment, in this place, with this person. That's all part of Chaturi. So apar means a lot, unlimited. So Lord Chaitanya showed unlimited cleverness or methods to attract, depending upon who he was trying to attract. So he did whatever it took, basically. That's what it means. And then, very interesting, the last line of this particular paragraph. Therefore, it is a principle that a preacher must strictly follow the rules and regulations laid down in the Shastras. Yet, at the same time, devise a means by which the preaching work to reclaim the fallen may go on with full force. So, these two words Prabhupada used to use, principle and detail. Has anybody heard that? Prabhupada used those two terms? This principle and this detail. Okay, maybe not. Okay, so let me talk about this. Principle is, basically as the word says principle, that's the siddhant, that's the principle. And therefore you cannot contradict that. You must follow it.
Like a rule.
Like a rule. It's like a rule, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But detail can vary. So for example, it says that you must follow what do you call it? No intoxication. No intoxication is one of the 4 rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
Including tea, coffee, and cigarette. Right? So that's the principle. But the detail is, can you have herbal tea? Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's the other example. For example, somebody says, go from Toronto to Vernon. And I can fly directly to Vernon. I can fly to Vancouver and drive from there. I can fly to Kelowna and drive from there. That's the detail. Who cares? But the principle is, I must fly to Vernon. Right? Similarly, the principle is that you must read Srila Prabhupada's books every day. But you can read Gita, you can read Bhagavatam, you can read Letter of Devotion, you can read so many other books. 60 books are written. Which book you read doesn't matter. But you read that. Okay, so Prabhupada is saying here, so principle must be followed strictly. But details can vary because a teacher can devise different ways of establishing and following that principle. I should always remember, because if you don't do that, you become, in Hindi, it's called lakir ke fakir, which means you won't deviate from the line. And you're too strict with that. It's called fanatic sometimes, it's called zero flexibility sometimes, many other words. And that doesn't work. You allow people some flexibility as long as the principle is not violated. So, for example, somebody may say, you're telling me to chant early in the morning, but I work night shifts. How can I do that? The principle is chanting. What time you're chanting is detail. It's not practical for you, that's okay. Chant in the afternoon, chant in the evening. Chanting is the principle, so make sure you chant. Okay, everybody with me?
Yes, Prabhu.
So it's very, very important that we understand. Otherwise, it's stuck on details and then turn everybody off, including ourselves. Okay. Gayatri, go ahead.
Prabhuji, so I'm just trying to understand this. So the top rule or top principle is we must chant, right? That we should be Krishna conscious. And whoever we're preaching to, a first goal is to just get them to be Krishna conscious. Yes? And then as they get more deeper into it, then we tell them about the 4 regulative principles. Yes?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So
Okay,
again, the point was somebody's eating meat, or somebody's drinking tea or liquor, whatever. You keep insisting and they stop doing that, then never chant. So you tell them, you chant and you keep drinking and eating and whatever. So get them to chant.
So the chanting is a higher principle than the regulative principles, like the 4 regulative principles
Correct.
that we follow.
You got it.
Okay.
The purpose of the 4 regulative principles is that you can chant purely.
Yes.
Following the regulative principles is not the purpose.
Yes.
It's a helpful tool to achieve the purpose. And that's what we have to remember. What is the purpose?
Okay. Thank you, Baba.
I'm glad you asked. That's good question. Anybody else? Okay. Then let's do 39. Tabe nije bhakta kaile jatam lech adi sabe era ilam mata kashire mayavadi. All were converted into devotees of Lord Chaitanya, even the Mlechas and Yavanas. Only the impersonalist followers of Shankaracharya evaded it. Okay, let's read the purport. We'll explain this also.
Can I read, Prabhu?
Please go ahead, Mataji. Yes, go ahead, absolutely. Go ahead.
In this verse, it is clearly indicated that although Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converted Muslims and other mlechas into devotees, the impersonalist followers of Shankaracharya could not be converted. After accepting the renounced order of life, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converted many karma-nishtas who were addicted to fruitive activities. Many great logicians like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Ninkadas, blasphemers like Prakashananda Saraswati, Pashandis, non-devotees like Jagai and Madai, and Adhama Paduyas, degraded students like Mukunda and his friends. All of them gradually became devotees of the Lord, even the Pathans, Muslims, but the worst offenders, the impersonalists, were extremely difficult to convert, for they very tactfully escaped the devices of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In describing the Kashira Mayavadis, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has explained that persons who are bewildered by empiric knowledge or direct sensual perception, and who thus consider that even this limited material world can be gauged by their material estimations, conclude that anything that one can discern by direct sense perception is but Maya or illusion. They maintain that although the absolute truth is beyond the range of sense perception, it includes no spiritual variety or enjoyment. According to the Kashira Mayavadis, the spiritual world is simply void, They do not believe in the personality of the Absolute Truth or in his varieties of activities in the spiritual world. Although they have their own arguments, which are not very strong, they have no conception of the variegated activities of the Absolute Truth. These impersonalists, who are followers of Shankaracharya, are generally known as Kashira Mayavadis, impersonalists residing in Varanasi.
That's great. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so some very important points are being made. So first of all, if you go back to the first paragraph, second line says Mahaprabhu converted Muslims and other mlechas. So we know Muslims. Who are mlechas? Anybody knows? What's a mlecha?
Meat eaters, Prabhu?
But Muslims are meat eaters also.
Shudras?
Dog eaters?
Hmm?
Dog eaters?
Malays like the low
caste.
lower caste.
That's how we like to call it. So the definition is those who do not follow the Vedic rules. Also, those who are who speak in terms that we don't understand, foreign languages like that. That's why the term lecture was used for the Americans when Prabhupada came here.
Yeah.
The Vedic rules and
But Prabhupada has used this word many times.
Yeah. That's why I thought we should understand what Prabhupada means. Okay.
Yeah.
So she took Muslims and lectures into devotees. But initially, the impersonalist followers of Shankaracharya were not converted. Okay. So
Prabhu?
converted. I'm sorry, Pallavi Mataji, go ahead.
May I ask a question? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, please go ahead.
So, do Buddhists fall under natures?
I'm sorry.
Buddhist?
Yeah, so Mataji, that's going to come later. We're going to talk about that in the third paragraph.
Okay. And what about the Yavanas? Who are the Yavanas, Prabhu?
Other who?
Yavanas?
Yavans.
Yavanas.
Oh, Yavanas. Yavanas are those who have dirty habits. So they're not very clean.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Sometimes Yavan is also used for Muslims.
Okay.
But basically it means unclean people.
Okay.
Like hippies.
Hmm?
Like hippies.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, that's right. But in India, Yavan typically asks somebody that's a Muslim.
Okay.
But
Thank you so much.
The literal meaning is unclean people.
Unclean people. Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Sure, you're welcome. So again, in the first paragraph, Prabhupada is describing all the people who were converted, except Prakashananda Saraswati and his group, and we'll talk about that later on. In the second paragraph, now I'll talk about specifically about the Mayavadis who were living in Varanasi at that time, which is the Prakashananda Saraswati and his group. And they basically don't understand the real meaning of the scriptures. They think that everything can be gauged by material estimation. So therefore, anything non-material doesn't have any meaning to them, like soul, spiritual world, they had no meaning to them because everything is material to them. And everything can be gauged, measured by material estimation. So that's one thing. The second thing is that because they do so much in material things, therefore anything that your senses cannot perceive is illusion or Maya. So are you with me? If you cannot perceive it with your senses, it must be Maya or illusion. Okay. Third thing they say is the absolute truth on the God, because it's beyond the range of perception, there's no spiritual variety or enjoyment. Okay. It's because spiritual is simply void. There's no activity there. There's no variety there. It's nothing. It's just zero, blank, void. Nothing is happening. They don't believe God has personality. They don't believe there are any activities in the spiritual world. Okay. Okay, so that's the second paragraph. Now that's the third paragraph. We'll answer Pallavi Mother's question. Who wants to read it?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Please go ahead, Mataji.
Near Varanasi, there is another group of impersonalists who are known as Sarnatha Mayavadis.
Yeah.
Outside the city of Varanasi is a place known as Sarnath, where there is a big Buddhist stup. Many followers of Buddhist philosophy live there. They are known as Sarnath Mayavadis. The impersonalists of Sarnath differ from those of Varanasi, for the Varanasi impersonalists propagate the idea that the impersonal Brahman is truth, whereas material varieties are false. But the Sarnath impersonalists do not even believe that the absolute truth or Brahman can be understood as the opposite of Maya or illusion. According to their vision, materialism is the only manifestation of the absolute truth.
Right. So this is very interesting. So has anybody been to Sarnath?
We don't remember.
Okay.
We
All right.
were in
Anyway, so
Varanasi many times, but
it's
we
like
don't remember.
60, 70 kilometers from Varanasi.
Mm.
Interesting place. I was there 3 years ago, 2, 3 years ago. And yeah, the stoop is there. So anyway, here's what's happening. Mayavadis, the Kashi Mayavadis, Prakashan Saraswati, they say absolute truth is the only truth. Everything else is Maya or illusion. On the other hand, the Buddhists say, no, even that is not the truth. Because truth, the only truth that exists is manifested as material things. So outside of material, there's nothing there. So at least Mayavadi, jo Prakashan Saraswati group, Kashi group, at least they said, no, there is absolute truth, and that's the only truth. The spiritual. Everything else is Maya. Brahman Satya, Jagat Mithya. So everything else is false, only Brahman is. But these people say even Brahman is not. Only thing Brahman that exists is what is manifested materially. That's it. So this is the difference.
No, what the Buddhists say?
That even the Brahman is manifested in material.
Okay.
It's not spiritual. It's all everything is material. There's
It
no.
is not in that spiritual.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not opposite of Maya. It's just not there. The only thing that exists is manifested materially.
So, Prabhu, is it they say this because they cannot either see or they cannot perceive it, or is there any other reason?
That's their philosophy. That's what Buddha taught them.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, can you elaborate a little more on what Lord Buddha said? Or as we have heard in Srimad Bhagavatam, I don't remember, but I think he wanted to convert the non-vegetarian eaters into vegetarian eaters, and
Basically,
didn't talk about
yeah,
Vedas, I think.
there was a lot of meat eating going on at that time.
Meat eating going on.
There was unbelievable amount of animal killing because of that. So he wanted to stop that.
Hmm.
Therefore, he negated the existence of Vedas.
Yes,
He
yes,
meant
he
that all
negated
the
the
conclusions of the Vedas about the absolute truth had to be negated.
Hmm.
It's not true, it's not true, not true. Therefore, only thing that exists is material. Even the absolute truth, only manifestation of absolute truth is material.
That avatar was as per that time.
Correct. Correct.
Mhm.
Right?
And Prabhuji, one more question. Who are Tattvavadis then?
I can't remember. We talked about that some time ago.
We talked about it, and I remember you said that the only thing we like about Tattvavadis is at least to believe that Krishna has a form.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true, but I don't remember all the details as to. I think Tattvavadis are mainly Mayavadis, except that Mayavadis say Krishna has no form. They say no, Krishna has a form. But everything else, so it's the same thing. Brahma Satya, Jagan Mithya. They also say the same thing. Everything in the material world is false. Whereas we say, devotees say, no, it's not false. It's temporary.
So, Prabhu, how far I know, sorry, I'm just adding something. in Buddhist philosophy, they believe in everything, soul and everything. But as per them, once somebody is done with the material body, it's just a big zero. Like everything
Right.
ends. They don't believe in rebirth, reincarnation, but they believe in soul.
Nirvana.
Yeah, nirvana. They believe in
Nirvana.
something called nirvana.
Enlightenment, yeah. That's correct.
So, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Just
Krishna,
to
Prabhu.
clarify, Hare Krishna. So, just to clarify, if the Buddhist thought process is that everything is material, then Lord Buddha propagated that one should not kill the animals. So is it like, so then if not killing the animals, so basically I think he's accepting the presence of the soul there. So I'm not able to understand the connection.
So the soul, of course, yeah, the soul, otherwise what's the concept nirvana otherwise? If there's soul, there's no soul, there's no nirvana there. Because soul is what's getting nirvana, not the body.
Right. So Lord Buddha's message was not kill because they have the soul, but these people.
But not only because it's soul, but because you don't want to hurt.
Right.
Hurting the other living entities, you don't hurt them.
Right. But on the other hand, what we are reading is their understanding is everything is material, no presence
No,
of
we're
soul.
saying that the only manifestation of the absolute truth is material. There's no spiritual absolute truth. Are you with me?
So everything is material, then there's no spiritual aspect. So there is no harm in killing those animals.
No. I don't know how you treated those two things. I don't understand what you're saying. How does that two things relate?
Ji.
I don't understand your point. Sorry, Paul.
I'm just, like what Ruchira Mataji mentioned. We understood that Lord Buddha propagated the idea of not killing the animals.
Right.
And don't follow the Vedas, because in Vedas it is mentioned, okay, for this thing you can sacrifice the animals, this and that. And at that time it was very much rampant, killing the animals. So Lord Buddha says, okay, don't kill. In these lines, what we are reading is in terms of the manifestation, everything is material. There is no.
So make sure we're reading the right line. The last line of the third paragraph. Okay, you should read it loud.
Absolute truth.
Actually, neither. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No,
According to their vision, materialism is the only manifestation of the
right.
absolute truth.
The only way absolute truth manifests materially. So therefore, I'm not sure I understand your point about soul or non-soul. I'm not sure I understand your point.
Maybe I kind of mixed, because when I heard the other point, I mixed.
Okay.
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Prabhuji, Lord Buddha is also believed to be incarnation of Krishna.
Yes. Even one of the 10 incarnations.
Yes.
Avatar.
So when he like, isn't it contradictory, like what Krishna is saying in Gita, and when in like Buddhism, he is not accepting this theory of rebirth and this thing, like just soul. So isn't it contradictory?
Yes,
Like
it is.
Lord himself,
Yes,
himself is contradicting to his
Yeah, I
own
mean,
things.
denying that this is the Vedas contradictory right there. Forget about everything else. It's such a blatant contradiction. So yeah,
Yeah.
it is contradictory. But there's a reason why it was done. There's a purpose, right? To stop the animal killing. That was the main thing. He came up with this, what you call not so correct philosophy. That's why he had to come back again. Krishna had to come back again in terms of Shankaracharya. He sent Lord Shiva to disprove everything Buddha was saying.
Yes.
Right? And reestablish the authority of the Vedas. But then he did something different, which was also a problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. So the sole purpose was something different. So that's why, like,
But it
it's
was
called.
definitely for one purpose alone.
Yeah.
I mean, so even Lord Shankar says, Lord Shiva says, I know what I'm being asked to do is wrong. And I don't believe it.
Yes.
But I'll do it because I've been ordered by the Lord to do this. That's what Lord Shiva says. I've been ordered by Lord Vishnu to do this.
So Prabhuji, that increases bewilderment, huh?
Sorry?
That increases the bewilderment.
Well,
Just
that's
the
yes, a
bewildering.
lot of people. But also don't forget, what did Shankaracharya actually say? He said, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam Mudamate. But his
He was
followers,
a Vaishnava by heart.
sorry?
Adi Shankaracharya was a very big Vaishnava by his own
I know, that's what I'm
heart.
saying. He's the one who
Yes.
wrote Jagannatashtakam,
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji.
right? So he's totally Vaishnava. Lord Shiva cannot stop being Vaishnava, no matter what. He was playing a role, but he never left his own nature,
Mm.
right? But his followers took away all the devotional part and kept the Mayavad part.
Yeah.
The problem was his followers, not him so much.
It's like kind of task assigned to him, which he was doing in
Yes,
this world.
yes, exactly right. He was following instructions of the Lord.
Yes.
Okay.
Prabhuji, all the avatars are as per the requirement of that particular time.
Exactly. Yes.
Like Lord Ram came because Ravan thought very low of a human being. So
Yes.
he came as a human being. Lord Buddha came because a lot of meat eating was going on. And again, the same thing that you mentioned, that the main purpose has to be kept higher.
Correct.
And then the nitty-gritties or details of
That's right. The need of the time determines.
the need of the time.
Okay, so listen, it's 9 o'clock. I have to stop. Okay, Gayatri, I'll take your question, then we'll stop after that.
It's okay, Prabhuji, we can stop.
No, go ahead.
No, it's okay. It's not going to be a quick answer. It's more about the Buddhist stuff, so it's okay. We can
Yeah, and
we
we
can
don't
take it
need to
offline.
spend too much time on Buddhism because
Yes.
two reasons. A, it doesn't concern us so much. B,
It's not about like it's people ask questions,
I
and
understand.
they make comparisons. That's the only reason.
You understand? So, yeah.
We can talk later. It's okay.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm sorry, everyone. I have to leave. I got guests at home and somebody's made some dinner, wonderful dinner, Thanksgiving dinner. So I need to talk to them.
You're very kind to still hold the class, Prabhuji. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Actually, I got yelled at for doing this, but I said, no, I'm not going to cancel at the last minute.
Yes, Prabhu, you could have actually taken a break
Thank
today.
you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, you're very welcome. Mancha kalparabhyasya kapasya
Thank you, Prabhu.
Vaishnavim Namo Namah.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Prabhuji,
Thanksgiving to everyone.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Thank you, Prabhuji. Enjoy your dinner.
Hare
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji.